for joining me. Let's start today in a reclined position. So it's going to be quite gentle tonight because I didn't move much recently in the past few days since the vaccine, as I was saying this morning. So yeah, and maybe you haven't moved so much as well lately. So we'll just take it easy, just move a little bit, but nothing too crazy. So let's start in the Shavasana so that we get some time to ground ourselves and see how we feel today. So any comfortable Shavasana position. As always, you're welcome to keep the knees bent if you prefer. Or straighten the legs. Relax the arms, either side of the body, or you could have your hands resting on your body. You just choose whatever makes you feel most comfortable, with the shoulders nice and relaxed away from the ears. And just allow your eyes to close. And once you've settled your body down, just take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, sigh it out. Releasing your body, releasing the breath, releasing the mind. Let's do that one more time. Long deep breath in. And sigh it out. And just take a moment observing your body, starting to bring your awareness to whatever calls for your attention. So sometimes as we lay there, the body just starts talking to us, like this hurts or this is a little bit tight. So just let your awareness travel in the body. Maybe nothing in particular calls for your attention, that's good. Maybe it's your mind that calls for your attention. Maybe you feel like your mind is racing, that you're struggling a little bit to ground yourself here and just follow the breath. If that's the case, don't worry. Maybe take some deeper breath so that you really feel the action of breathing. You really feel the air coming in the body, and it's a little bit easier to ground our attention, to fix our attention onto the breath when we consciously breathe. Maybe the breath is a little bit more audible this way as well. And just do that a few times and then come back to a natural breath. We'll soon start to move the body a little bit. So you can start by just moving the face. So maybe moving the forehead, the eyebrows, all the muscles of the face that we don't really think about too much usually, especially of course in our everyday life, but also in yoga we usually move the muscles of the entire body, but we don't really pay too much attention to the face. But it's sometimes good to release some tension there as well. So you can move your jaw, maybe open and close the mouth even, and lift the eyebrows, scrunch the face, the nose, and then release. It feels quite good to do that. I don't do it enough. Alright. So we start to move as well the fingers and the toes, the wrists and the ankles, just some rolls here in both directions. And then stretch the arms over the head, stretch the legs. Give yourself a full body stretch as you inhale. And as you exhale, release. Good. Let's place the feet down. So the feet are as wide as the mat, the knees are bent. And you can keep your arms overhead or you can move your arms wherever you'd like. We'll just move the knees from side to side while keeping the feet on the mat. So it doesn't have to be big movements, especially at first. You can go gradually. Alright. It's just so that we start waking up the pelvis, the hips, the spine. And then we'll bring the knees into the chest and hug the legs into the body. So just giving yourself a big hug. You can lift the head and the shoulders here. And then relax. Now you're welcome to either cross the legs and roll forward and back a few times until you come to sit, or you can also just let your legs fall to one side and press yourself back up. I'm gonna roll forward and back because I like what it does to my spine, but if it doesn't feel so good, then don't worry. And we're coming up to a cross-legged position. Any comfortable seating position is fine here. Close your eyes for a moment just so that now we settle into this sitting posture. Observe how you feel after these just over 5 minutes of practice, gentle practice. It's gonna be a little bit less gentle, but we start nice and easy. As you next inhale, let's raise the arms overhead. And as you exhale, bring your palms to your chest. Let's start together with one Om. Take a deep breath in. And bow the head towards the hands. Open the eyes. Namaste. Very good. Let's relax the hands to the knees and drop the chin towards the chest. And let's do some rolls with the head. So you can do half circles or full circles as you prefer. Don't forget to change the direction of the circle if you're doing full one. And we'll just do a couple more here. You can take your time. There's no need to rush anything. And we want to be mindful with our movements, so noticing wherever we feel something, any tension around the traps, the shoulders, the neck. And then let's bring the chin towards the chest to the center and roll the shoulders back, up and forward and down, back, up, forward and down. One more, back, up, forward and down. And then the other direction, forward, up, back and down. And two more like this. I hope you can still hear me. Kapsi just climbed on the keyboard. And one more. Alright, very good. Let's do our wrists as well. So closing the fists, let's do some circles here. Working through the clicks. And circles the other way if you haven't done it yet. Alright, very good. Nice and easy. Let's just change the crossing of the legs. We'll keep staying sitting a little bit longer. Feel free to sit on something as always. Place your right hand next to your right hip. As you inhale, raise the left hand up. Reach here, and as you exhale, lean to the side. Both hips are heavy. Inhale, we lift both arms up. Exhale, we lean to the other side. And we just keep moving like this. Moving with the breath at your own pace. Every inhale, you reach up. Every exhale, you lean. I'm gonna let her out of the room. Oh my god. Inhale and exhale. And keep going like this a few times. Alright, we should be a little bit quieter now. And next time you come to the left. And come back to the center, inhale. And exhale, relax the arms. Alright, once you're done with this, take a deep inhale to lift the chest up and lengthen the spine. And as you exhale, twist to the right. Left hand to the right knee, right hand right behind you. And you press your hand down to lift up the chest. As you inhale, coming back to center, and as you exhale, twist to the other side. You're paying attention that you're not just looking over the left shoulder without really turning the upper body. You've been doing yoga for a while, so I'm sure you're doing it correctly, but it's a tendency that I see sometimes that the shoulders are kind of still facing forward, but just the person is looking over the left shoulder. So we really want to move the lower part of the spine. Is not going to move, it can't really twist, but it's this part, the thoracic spine, that's going to move towards the left, and that's what we want to do. Cervicals as well, but the cervicals are a little bit more used to turning in every direction. So we want to focus on the thoracic. Alright, let's come back to center before we get stuck. And let's come to hands and knees now. I forgot to wear my support, so I'm going to do this now, and we're going to go for some cat-cows. So you can already lift the chest and the hips as you inhale and press the hands down. And as you exhale, you round the spine and bring your chin to the chest. And keep going with your own breath. Making sure you're anchoring the fingers down still. Every exhale, we round, we stretch the back. Let your head down, tailbone down, pressing the hands. Every inhale, we lengthen, send the chest forward and up. Not just up, forward as well. And around the spine. Couple more like this. It's one of my favorite posture to work with the breath. It's quite easy. So it can become kind of a meditation here. Let's do one more. And with your next inhale, let's come back to center. We spread the fingers wide, tuck the toes, and lift the hips up and back for our downward dog. So first down dog, since this morning anyway. So maybe bend the knees a lot here so that you really find a length in the spine before you start fixating on the legs.
So allow a generous bend in the knees, the heels lift high, and we press the hands away, and the hips are going towards the back of your mat as well. So you really find a long, long spine with a lot more freedom than if you had your legs completely straight and your hamstrings were pulling on your lower back. So you're lifting the tailbone up slightly here. You're trying to tilt the pelvis forward. Alright, if you want, you can pedal the legs a little bit to start working into the hamstrings. And then let's look forward and move the feet forward into your forward fold. Uttanasana, we're at the top of the mat, the knees are still generously bent, and the upper body is just draping over the legs. You can grab the opposite elbows, hang there, maybe sway from side to side. You could also just let the arms dangle, or you could also interlace the hands behind the lower back and stretch the shoulders. Whatever feels good, whatever you feel like doing right now. Don't do anything that your body feels too tight to do yet. Sometimes this can feel a little bit intense. One more breath. Relax the arms and then slowly unroll the spine. So we're gonna go really slow. Keep the chin towards the chest. Slowly straighten yourself up and roll the shoulders back and down. As you come up, crown of the head reaching up last. Good. Raise the arms up. Grab your left wrist with your right hand. Inhale, lengthen. Make yourself really tall here. As you exhale, lean to the right. Make sure your feet are nice and wide apart here. You're not struggling for balance. Come back up and change the grip. Left hand on right wrist. Lift, lengthen, exhale, lean. Come back up, inhale. Release the wrist and raise the fingertips up to the sky. As you exhale, fold over the legs again, Uttanasana. As you inhale, lift the chest halfway, palms come to the shin or to the floor. As you exhale, place your palm down, step your left foot back, and then step your right foot back into a high plank. Take an extra breath here, inhale. As you exhale, drop the knees down, child's pose, hips back, arms stretching forward. Long deep breath in. And exhale, sigh it out. Inhale to lift the chest up again, palms down. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. As you inhale, slowly lift the right leg up. As you exhale, bring your right foot forward next to your right thumb and bring your left knee down. Inhale, raise the palms up. Exhale, stay here. You could keep your arms up or you could rest your hands on your right knee, your choice. Inhale to lift the chest up and exhale, let your hips shift forward a little bit more. One more breath. And with your next exhale, let's bring your palms down, lift the back knee up and step back to a downward facing dog. Good. As you inhale, lift the left leg up. As you exhale, gaze forward, left foot forward, and the right knee slides down. Again, inhale, arms up. Staying here or placing the palms on your left thigh. Inhale, lifting up the chest. Exhale, staying maybe a little bit deeper.
Good. Your next exhale, place your palms down, lift the back knee up, and step back to a downward facing dog. Good. With your next inhale, shift your shoulders forward into a high plank. With your next exhale, this time we're coming all the way down to chaturanga, all the way to the belly. Inhale, lift the chest up, either to baby cobra, high cobra, up dog, whatever your body feels ready for. And as you exhale, come back to your belly. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale. And exhale. Last one, inhale. And as you exhale, come back down. Place your palms next to your ribcage if it's not there already. And push yourself back up into a downward facing dog. Good. As you inhale, let's look forward, bend the knees, and step to the top of the mat, lift the chest up halfway. As you exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, relax your arms alongside the body. A long deep breath in. Exhale, side out. Inhale to bring your palms back up. And exhale to fold over the legs. Inhale to lift the chest up. And exhale to again step your left foot back, right foot back, high plank, sorry. Take an extra breath here. As you exhale, come all the way to your belly. Chaturanga Dandasana, keeping the chest lifted and the shoulders rolling back. Toes are relaxed. As you next inhale, lifting the chest up to your cobra or up dog. As you exhale, downward facing dog. Good. With your next inhale, slowly lift the right leg up. With your exhale, bring your right foot forward. This time the back knee stays up and we anchor the left heel down into warrior one position. Gaze forward, stay here for a moment. You could even have your palms on blocks here if you want a bit more height. Sending the chest forward and the hips come down, quite down, bending the front knee, keeping the left foot entirely on the floor. All right, keep the hips low. As you inhale, come up, arms up. Good, left hip comes forward, chest lifts. You could keep your arms separated or palms together, making sure it doesn't start clenching too much at the shoulders. Good. Hands come back down to the blocks, lifting the back heel up and stepping back to a high lunge. You can have your hands on the floor if you prefer, of course. High plank, sorry. Inhale to lift the chest up and exhale down, not downward facing dog, chaturanga. Can you tell I've been on holiday for a little bit too long? Inhale, chest up to cobra. Exhale to downward facing dog. All right, let's explore the second side. As you inhale, slowly lift the left foot up. As you exhale, the left foot comes forward, trying to not lift the palms of the hands as you do that. I know it's tough. So we'll grab our blocks again maybe, anchor the right heel. Hips are still facing forward, they can face a little bit to the right, that's fine. But lift the chest up and bend the left knee. Hips stay low. Press your right foot down. Inhale, arms come up. And we stay here. So potentially that feels a little bit more burny than your usual warrior one, because the tendency is often that as we come up, the hips lift up as well. We come up and maybe if we think about it, we bend the knee a little bit more. So here, we're bending the knee first. And I can definitely feel it in my left thigh. One more breath. Place your palms down and step back to your Vinyasa. You can come straight to a downward dog if you want. Inhale, exhale, lower down. Inhale to your cobra and exhale to downward dog. All right, very good. So as we next inhale now, we'll lift the right leg up, bend the right foot, bend the right knee, and lift the right hip over the left. So we're opening our hips towards the right, sending the hips towards the back of the mat, still pressing both hands down. Both arms are strong. Then we start to gaze forward and bring the right foot again forward next to your right thumb. Left heel drops down into warrior two shape this time. So again, we're not coming up right away. Again, you can have your hands on blocks. We bend the front knee and make sure that our right thigh is as parallel to the floor as you can. Press your left foot down. Make sure your right toes are pointing forward. And when you are ready, lift the arms up, upper body up, without straightening your right leg. Ooh, that burns. All right. Shoulders relax, fingertips away from each other. As we inhale, we'll reverse right hand up, left hand down. Keep your legs bent. As we exhale, Parsvakonasana, elbow to thigh, left arm overhead, or if you like, right hand can come to the floor or to a block. Keep some lift in the torso, gaze towards the fingers. Good. As you inhale, come back to warrior two, and then straighten the right leg. Whoa, that's good. Okay. So both legs are straightened, lift the chest, inhale, and exhale, fold over the right leg. So Trikonasana this time. Trying to have your left hand just above the left shoulder. So aiming for that. It doesn't matter if it's not happening, but sometimes we get a bit carried away and the hand is over the head or towards the back or towards the front. It goes anywhere but where we would like it to be. So just trying to get the hand just above the shoulder and the torso as parallel to the floor as possible. So we don't want it to bend too much. One more breath. That's a long hold. Okay. As you inhale, let's come back upright. As we exhale, we'll go to Prasarita. Nice and easy. Again, we can have the blocks and the hands here. So feet are pointing in the same direction, hands to your hips to start. As we inhale, we lengthen. So we draw the crown of the head up. Sometimes what happens in Prasarita is that I say this and people go, and I do that sometimes as well, people go back. So we inhale in the back bend and then exhale in the forward bend. And that's not what we want really here. So as we inhale, we're not bending back, but we're going up. So we move the rib cage away from the hips. And then as we exhale, we come forward, trying not to shift the hips too far back, just keeping the hips above the ankles and then coming forward. Any amount is fine. You can stay kind of halfway there, sending the crown of the head forward. Or if you feel like you're ready for more, you can come a little lower, either keeping your hands on your hips or maybe placing the hands on the blocks, under the shoulders or on the floor. Body weight towards the toes. All right. We'll come halfway up again. And we'll move towards the front of the mat. So towards either
whichever foot is at the top of your mat. We'll frame this foot, lift the back heel, so we come into a lunge, and then step back into a downward facing dog. From downward dog, 3 options. Option 1, knees down, child's pose, we rest. Option 2, we stay in downward facing dog for 5 breaths. Option 3, we vinyasa. So pay close attention to how you're feeling, knowing that we're going to do the left side now. So you need to keep some energy and choose accordingly. Don't feel like you have to push yourself because whatever. You don't have to. Sometimes it's just good to rest as well. All right, one more breath wherever you are. And then coming to a downward facing dog if it's not the case already. So from our downward dog, we anchor the hands again, fingertips pressing down, hips lifting up. And as we inhale, we lift the left leg up. As we exhale, we bend the knee and open the hip. Open to the left this time, keeping both shoulders down. You can look towards the right, under the right armpit, see if you can see your foot. And then let's look forward and carefully, as light as possible, place your left foot forward. Very good. Right heel comes down. And again, see if I were to come up right away, my leg is not very bent here. So it would be quite easy. I would be almost in the triangle and then bend. But let's try to bend right away while our hands are still down. Press your right foot down. My thigh is now parallel to the floor. Lifting the torso up and straighten the arms. Wow, that burns so much. Okay, let's push the knee out, press the feet down, lift the arches of the feet. So to lift the arches of the feet, we want to press the ball of the foot and the heels down. All right, very good. From here, we'll revert. Lift the left hand up, right hand down. Stretch the left side body. Getting a sweat going. And our Parsvakonasana, elbow comes to the thigh. Right arm overhead, towards the ceiling. Maybe the hand comes to the floor or to a block. Reaching the arm up. As we inhale, press into the legs to come all the way up. Oh my God. Woo. And straighten both legs. Good. Straighten the arms, inhale. As you exhale, come over the left leg for your triangle pose. Again, trying to find these lines of the right hand just above the shoulder. If having the right hand just above the shoulder doesn't feel right for any reason, then move it away. Like it's just a general guidance, a general cue, but you always modify what I tell you to what you feel and what you feel is good for your body. Keep the chest open. When you correct a posture like this, always take a moment to reflect. Is it better? Is it worse? If it's worse, then it's not worth it. As you inhale, let's come all the way upright and move the feet to point in the same direction, coming for Prasarita Uttanasana. All right, hands to your hips. Again, we inhale, we lift the chest, so remember, no back bend, just separating the ribcage from the hips. As we exhale, firm up the legs, press your toes down, heels down, and come forward any amount. You are welcome to repeat whatever you did last time, or you can do another version of this forward fold, playing with the position of the hands either on the hips, under the shoulders, maybe along the legs, or maybe stretching the shoulders by interlacing the fingers and bringing the arms overhead. Wherever you are, you want your legs to be engaged and your shoulders to be relatively relaxed here. Alright. Let's inhale, coming up halfway, releasing the hands to the floor. Bend the knees any amount if you need to. And then walk your hands towards your left leg. Coming back to this lunge and stepping back to a downward facing dog. Alright, 3 options again. Child's pose, downward dog, or vinyasa. We'll just take 2 more breaths in your down dog or in your child's pose. And then coming back to a downward facing dog. From our downward dog, we start walking our hands towards the feet. Keep the knees bent. Then move your toes out and drop the hips down into Malasana. So in our Malasana, we'll have several options to do as well. Option 1 is to stay in Malasana. So if you stay in Malasana and if you're struggling with Malasana, you can always have support under the heels or under the hands. You can sit on something as well, sitting on a block if you just feel like chilling here. So trying to extend the spine if you're here. Option 2 will be to work on our crow pose with the hands down. I'm not gonna cue too much crow, but you should probably know what it is by now. Fingers spread wide and knees coming to the upper arms, gazing forward and leaning the body weight towards the hands. Maybe one foot lifts, maybe both feet lift. Always gazing forward, always feeling that you're lifting up and pressing the hands down. Very important, press the hands down and think about, going up with your rounded back. All right, last option will be little hops. So hands down, lifting the hips, lifting the heels, and then pressing the hands down and moving your hips up and forward so that your feet come closer to the hands, like this. And going forward, moving the hands forward again. Press your hands down, move your body weight towards the shoulders and lifting up, hopping forward. So little frog jumps here, tiny frog jumps. Coming forward, pressing the hands down, gazing forward and lifting the hips up. And we'll do that on the way back as well. So we'll turn back, hands a little bit forward, lifting the hips, shoulders come forward over the wrists, press the hands down and come up. So I'm really struggling, of course, because of my wrist. So doing this is a little bit tough, but if you can, see if you can, so you're pushing the floor down and find a little bit of lightness in here. A little bit of lightness in the jumps, maybe like half of a second of the feet lifting off the floor. So that you're not falling like this. So you're already pressing, leaning and feeling that your core is pulling you up. We'll do just one more. No, 2 more.
And last one. Oh! That was Kapsi's vengeance. Alright, and then we turn back into our Malasana again. And we'll place our hands down wherever you are, whether you are working on your crow, staying in Malasana, or doing the hops with me. Place your hands down and cross your ankles, and then sit back. Alright. I hope you had a little bit of fun if you did these little hops. I hope that was clear enough as well, because demonstration is tough at the moment. But if you have any questions, of course you can let me know. So we're coming to sit now. We'll straighten the legs in front of us, and we'll simply do a forward fold here. So you could keep your knees bent and fold forward and you mount. You could keep your legs straight if you prefer, and fold again. Just do what feels okay. You could also stay upright with your hands back. If you feel like you're really struggling to fold forward, hinging from the hips, and that right away it's your spine that rounds and you're kind of like this, then it's not the best for your spine. So if that's your case, place your hands back for support, lift the chest, work on straightening the legs here as you're leaning back slightly. So this way you're not at a 90-degree angle with the body, you're a little bit wider, but you're still working on your leg flexibility without injuring your spine, which is probably good. If you feel like you can come forward a bit more, then just do. Keep the face relaxed. I'll just take 3 more breaths in this position. Then coming back upright, we'll work on our reverse plank. So 2 options. Reverse tabletop is the first option. Hands behind you, toes, fingers pointing towards the hips. Feet are hip distance apart, and as we inhale, we'll lift the hips up. Second option, the legs are straight and together, and we do the same thing with the toes pointed. Inhale, press into the hands and lift the hips up. Gaze straight up towards the ceiling, or maybe towards the toes if that's better for your neck. Or if you feel good, you can also let the head drop back, if that feels good. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Lift the hips higher, higher, higher. And then bring your hips back down. Alright, very good. Let's bring the right knee in, and we'll just twist towards the right. Right hand behind you, lift the chest, and hug the right knee towards your chest. Gaze over the right shoulder. So think about what we were doing at the start of the class, what I was saying about the twist. You want your torso, your chest to be twisting, to be going towards the right and a bit towards the back. As you inhale, let's come back forward again. Straighten the right leg and bend the left knee. Alright, we hug the left knee in, left arm behind you. Inhale, make yourself tall. Exhale, look over the left shoulder. As you inhale, let's come forward again. Straighten both legs. Okay, we're going to Baddha Konasana, and I'm going to use the block under my feet today. So placing the block or a cushion under the feet, feet on the block and the knees come apart. Good. Hands come towards the back of your hips. As you inhale, lift the chest, lift the hips off the floor, and shift your hips forward as close to the feet as feels comfortable. Bring your hands a little bit closer to the hips, closer to you, so that you're a bit more upright. And just stay there, pressing the hands down, lifting the chest, and allowing the knees to drop towards the floor naturally. My teacher in India, he was placing bags of sands on the legs here to force them down. Right. I never tried. I'm too scared. Okay. Let's slowly relax. Release the posture. Place your feet back onto the mat. Move the block to the side. And bring the knees closer together. Let's come to our backs now. You can keep your accessories and your props, block and belt nearby. So we'll come to the back. If you're not there already, if you're there already, just stay down. If you're not there already, we'll use the cord a little bit to come down. So hands coming forward, back is rounding. We pull the belly button in towards the spine, tucking the tailbone, and one vertebrae at a time, as slowly and controlled as you can. Let's bring our vertebrae down, 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 and all the way down to the mat. Feels quite good on the spine actually. All right, good. As we are lying down here, let's go for our inversion. So option 2, do a shoulder stand or to use the props. I'm going to use the props today. Block under the sacrum and the legs come up. You can do Savangasana, the shoulder stand, by all means do that. So make sure your block is placed where you want it to be, and then let your legs float over the hips, allowing the arms to be completely loose and relaxed here, but just holding onto the strap with our fingers. And we'll take 10 long relaxed breaths here. Allow the breath to slow down. Your awareness to travel the body. The face is relaxing slowly. All the muscles slowly melting.
Take another 3 breaths here. Then we'll slowly start to make our way down. So really take your time. If you want to stay here longer, actually you can. That's a great posture to stay in for 5, even more. 5 minutes, even more, even longer. If you are in your shoulder stand, you're gonna slowly make your way down as well. You can go through Halasana if you want. And once your feet are on the mat, you can move the props to the side and let your hips rest down. Taking a couple of breaths, your feet down, flat on the mat, hips down. And we'll finish with our twist. Whichever version of the twist you want to do, maybe just both legs stacked on top of each other and knees falling to the side, or if you want a bit more intensity, you'll shift your hips to the left, straighten the right leg, and move your left leg bent over the right. Straighten your left arm away from you. Oh, I felt a release, the pump in my back. It's my favorite thing in the world. Look over the left. Enjoy the stretch. I recommended this posture to a friend a while ago who has back pain, and yesterday or the day before he was talking about this, and he didn't know the name of the posture, but he calls it the magical posture. So there you go. That's how we'll call it from now on. Bring your legs back to the center, shift your hips to the right, and switch sides. Doing the same thing, ideally, that you did on the other side. Bring your knees back up. Shift your hips to the center of the mat. Move your knees to the chest. And hug your knees into the chest just like we did at the start. Give yourself a big hug. And as you exhale, come into your Shavasana position. Straightening the legs or keeping the knees bent. Your choice, your comfortable, relaxing position. Palms of the hands turn up. Arms and legs relax. Take a long deep breath in. And exhale, side out. And rest. Allow your whole body to come into stillness. Your muscles to relax. Your breath to slow down.
natural, relaxed pace. Bring your awareness back to the breath. Take a nice long deep breath in and exhale side out. Start to breathe in a little bit more actively now. And bring some movement back in the fingers and the toes, the wrists, the ankles. You can move the arms and the legs slightly. Sway the head from side to side. And bring your feet closer together and the arms over the head, and give yourself a full body stretch. And as you exhale, relax. Bring your knees into the chest and roll to the side in a fetal position. When you are ready to come up, press yourself up into a sitting position, any sitting position of your choice. Keeping the eyes closed, the arms relaxed. Take a moment to observe how you feel at the end of this practice. Giving yourself thanks for practicing today, for taking this hour to yourself. With your next inhale, raise the arms all the way up. And exhale, bring your palms to your heart. Ending the class with 1 Om and 3 Shanti. Take a deep breath in. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bow the head towards the hands, open the eyes. Namaste. Thank you, well done. Well done, thank you very much.